The answer to the question how to choose a project management product often comes down to what you need the product to do. So you might consider starting with a list of top priorities or features to help you get started. We're actually looking at a product called Standard Time. It is a project management product with a timesheet. Sometimes people believe that project management is just creating a list of tasks. Sort of like you're seeing here. You see a project, and then there's some sub-projects or summary tasks, and then the actual tasks would be underneath that. You often see a Gantt chart over on the right-hand side that has a visual representation of the start and finish dates for the tasks. You'll have the ability to change the start and finish date. Sometimes you'll have link relationships that will affect those, and then the duration in hours of the task, and then you'll be able to assign the task to the actual employees performing the work. So those are the very basics of project management, and Microsoft Project certainly is a good product for that. You'll be able to schedule out your tasks with all of the resources assigned. You'll have link relationships and good scheduling capabilities, but you may not be able to get your project into a nice database like this so that you see all of the projects listed together where you can make changes to the tasks. You may not also be able to get real-time input for your project. And sometimes when projects are created in a vacuum, they do not represent reality as you would get with a product with a timesheet. When you put your product out into the wild and let employees begin to track time to it, you may find that the project schedule did not accurately represent reality. You may find that you missed a few tasks that employees needed to complete the job, and those tasks may affect the final schedule and budget. You may find that some of your tasks are not completely accurate or unfamiliar to employees. You may also find that employees spend too much time on tasks and blow the schedule. Sometimes they even will camp out on a project task because it's comfortable. And so you need a way to move that project forward and to keep these tasks being completed and moved on to the next step. So there's a lot of other things to consider when you create a project schedule, and getting real-time input from a timesheet is one of those things. Another thing about projects is that they often have expenses. It's not just time. So you may need a form like this to collect expenses, or to be able to collect them on the timesheet as well as the time. So getting all of this input really makes your project come to life because you will get a lot more information than you expected. If you're sending out invoices to clients, you may need a form like this to be able to generate those invoices. Of course, if you're in manufacturing or other industries where you do not have to send out an invoice, this is probably not something you'll need. But there are plenty of other things to think about. For instance, thinking about the scheduling of tasks out into the future, you may want to have a chart like this to be able to pinpoint areas where you may not have scheduled enough hours or maybe scheduled too many hours for employees. So finding those little areas can be a difficult thing to do, and a tool like this allows you to see those areas. Same thing with the project revenue. Looking out into the future and seeing the revenue for a project, you'll be able to see low spots where you need to fill in. So there's a lot more to project management than just creating a project schedule. You really need to watch every task, watch the duration on those tasks, the budgets, all of the other variables that go into actually executing a project in real life. So there's things like looking at employee status to know what employees are doing or have done, making sure that they're on the correct tasks. Things like getting status in the form of a daily scrum so that employees put in the project status of what they're working on. So lots of other little things that you should consider when choosing a project management product.